Okay, so we have an urgent information coming out. Moscow cancels Navy Day parade in St. Petersburg as nearly 100 drones reportedly down across western Russia. At the same time, we have this breaking news coming out. The US Coast Guard responds to Chinese research vessel of Alaska. All right, so we're going to see what's going on with these two breaking news. Do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. For those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to help and support the channel, we do have the Cash App link and a PayPal link in the comments box and also description box. Thank you so much for your support. Guys, today, Tampa, 100 degrees. It felt like it was 110. It was that bad here in Florida. All right, so we went out fishing and boy, we got, it was really hot, extremely hot. We had to go. It was, I mean, we caught some fish and stuff like that, but it was way too hot. And we went out and did a little shopping and stuff like that. And but temperatures were insane. All right, so we're gonna start with this one here. It's not that much information. We're gonna start with Red Dragon, and then we're gonna go with Moscow. U.S. Coast Guard responds to the Red Dragon research vessel off Alaska. The U.S. Coast Guard detected and responded to the Red Dragon flagged research ship on the U.S. extended continental shelf in the U.S. Arctic, approximately 290 nm north of Alaska, Friday. Now, a Coast Guard Hercules fixed wing aircraft from Air Station Kodiak responded to the vessel, an icebreaker. That's what it was, an icebreaker operated by the Polar Research Institute of the Red Dragon and 130 nm inside the ECS boundary. The U.S. has exclusive right to conserve and manage the living and non-living resources of the ECS. The U.S. Coast Guard, alongside partners and other agencies, vigilantly monitors and responds to foreign gov vessels' activity in and near U.S. waters to secure territorial integrity and demand Soviet interest against malign state activity. All right, so the C-130J aircraft was operating under Coast Guard Arctic District Operation Frontier Sentinel, which is designed to meet presence in response to advisory activity in or near Alaska water. That's one of the latest breaking news. One thing I tell you guys is that stuff like this happens a lot. I wouldn't be too concerned about this. I mean, there's always Russians and Chinese aircraft near Alaska territory. When that happens, the U.S. and even Canada sends their aircraft and just sends a message to these countries to turn around. So stuff like this does happen a lot. Like I said, I'm not too concerned about it, but just wanted to share that information there. And I do believe they do that just for like routine exercise and stuff like that. We got a whole bunch of stuff out there in the South China Sea. We got a lot of stuff out there. All right, so we're gonna go with this one here. Moscow cancels Navy Day parade in St. Petersburg as nearly 100 drones reportedly down across western Russia. Wow. Okay, so you have multiple news on this article here. Number one, you have Moscow cancel Navy Day parade. Number two, we assist your attempt. Top Ukrainian drone commander hints Russia tried to strike multiple unit leader at once. Number 3, Moscow warned of ongoing war unless Ukraine complies with its maximalist demands. Rubio says Donald losing patience with the bear despite giving the bear a 50-day peace deadline. And number 5, the bear drone on bus was strike bus reportedly takes out 3 and injured 20 in assuming a blast. Now, a lot of this stuff here I'm not gonna read. I'm not gonna read too much of it because it's a very, very long article. I'm just gonna focus again, like when it comes to Donald, Rubio, Putin, and stuff like that, and the cancellation of the parade. The bear canceled its annual Navy Day parade in St. Petersburg for the first time, citing security concerns amid a wave of drone strike that disrupted airports and railways across western Russia overnight on July 27, local officials and the Russian media reported. Now it says here the decision to cancel the Navy Day parade in St. Petersburg, an event traditionally held on the last Sunday of July, was announced by Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry on July 27, who said it was made for security reasons. Despite the cancellation, the bear leader Putin reportedly traveled to the city to mark the occasion. Now, the UK Defense Ministry said it is almost certain that Navy Day parades originally planned for July 27 were cancelled across the bear due to force protection concerns, while the main naval parade in St. Petersburg was reduced in scale in 2024. Now, this marks the first full cancellation since its inception in 2017. The bear has reported a growing number of drone incursions into its territory in recent months, while Kiev has been targeting infrastructure critical to the bear war effort. Moscow has significantly intensified missile and drone strike on Ukrainian cities, frequently targeting civilian infrastructure and causing numerous civilian casualties. In Leningrad Oblast, dozens of flights were delayed at Pulkovo Airport in St. Petersburg after local authorities reported a wave of drone interception in the early hours. You have Gov Alexander confirmed that the drones were down in several districts, with debris reportedly falling in residential and industrial zones. Now it says here, Drozdenko claimed that the Bear air defenses intercepted more than a dozen Ukrainian drones. In Lomonosovsky district, according to Drozdenko, debris from an intercepted drone injured one. In the Bear, Volgograd Oblast, drone debris reportedly damaged a railway overhead power supply system, disrupting electrical infrastructure. The governor blamed Crane for the strike, but reported no injuries. Local Telegram channels shared footage suggesting a substation fire may have contributed to the outage. Alright, so once again, a lot of stuff here I'm just going to skip, guys. But there's no peace going on between these two. They are still going at it. And I want to go to the one with Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio dropped a bombshell report. He said that Donald is losing patience. He's like, Donald is very upset. He's not liking it one bit. Donald is not liking it one bit. So what's next? I mean, these two still going at it. You got drones. You got all these stuff left and right. Well, Donald, I don't know why you upset. You even said it yourself that you was not gonna get involved, and now you're involved because you had a change of heart, and now you're very upset. You should have never gotten involved, Donald. This is none of our business. It's none of our business. But those that is surrounding you, I mean, they're putting stuff in your head, and now you are basically involved in this. No different than what Joe was doing. Moscow warns of ongoing war unless Ukraine complies with its. Alright, give me a second here. This is the one. Rubio says Donald losing patience with the bear despite giving Putin 50-day peace deal deadline. Now, U.S. Secretary of State Rubio praised Donald as the ultimate closer and said Donald is losing his patience with the bear over the war in Ukraine in a televised interview with Fox News on July 26. Rubio remarks come nearly 2 weeks after Donald gave the bear a 50-day deadline to agree to a peace deal or face severe tariffs, and since the announcement, the bear has only intensified its assault on Ukrainian cities and continued to advance along the front line. So the bear, Russia, is basically not paying attention. They don't want to listen to Donald. They don't take orders from Donald. They're laughing at Donald. They're telling Donald, dude, didn't you say you was going to end this in 24 hours? So they just playing mind games with Donald, and now Donald is furious. Rubio said Donald is eager to secure a peace deal and end the biblical war he inherited from the Joe administration, and described the president's growing frustration with Putin. Now it says here, despite having very good interaction with Vladimir and phone calls, it never leads to anything, Rubio says. So the time has come for some action. We talked to Vladimir, and again, it never leads to anywhere. There's no negotiating, there's no communication, there's no dialogue. So the time has come for some actions. Critics say Donald's latest 50-day timeline effectively gives the Kremlin even more weeks to continue launching some very powerful strike across Ukraine. The proposed tariffs at around 100% are also below the 500% rate proposed in a bipartisan Senate bill, targeting countries that buy the bear oil. Rubio also acknowledged in the Fox interview that the Red Dragon growing role in prolonging the biblical war, accusing Beijing of propping up Moscow economy and military efforts. The Red Dragon is giving the bear, China is giving Russia, as much aid as they can get away with without being discovered, Rubio said. There's no way Putin could have sustained this biblical war without the Red Dragon's support, particularly by its oil. Now, Rubio also highlighted the geopolitical triangle between the bear and the Red Dragon and Iran, suggesting the Red Dragon benefits from a prolonged war that keeps the U.S. distracted. Following talks with Foreign Minister Sergei in Beijing earlier in July, the Red Dragon leader vowed to deepen strategic cooperation and held the partnership as a model for a new type of international relations. And despite the Red Dragon repeated claims of neutrality in the Bear Crane War, its support for the bear economy and defense industry has established Beijing as one of the Bear Moscow's most crucial partners. Ukrainian officials reported that the presence of the Red Dragon components in the bear attack drones and intelligence suggests Beijing may be helping Moscow bypass sanctions to ramp up drone production. Told you, these sanctions is not gonna work. They found a way to, go around these sanctions. They got the BRICS. The bear has the red dragon, China. I mean, there's always a way to go around these sanctions or tariffs. At the same time, this also took place today. The bear drone strike on bus reportedly takes out 3 and injured 20 in Sumio blast. A bear drone targeting a bus reportedly has taken 3 and impacting 20 in Sumio blast on July 27. The strike took place near the village of Yunakivska, located about 8 kilometers, 5 miles from Crane's border with the bear, and about 29 kilometers, 18 miles from the city of Sumi. The bear struck a bus with civilian in Sumi Oblast, or district. There are preliminary reports of casualties. They are being assisted. All emergency services are involving and responding to the consequences of this cynical strike on a peaceful population. Later, Kondon media reported that 3 were out. Wow. And 20 were injured in the bear strike. Sumi Oblast bordered the bear to the northeast, and regularly faces shelling and drone strike as Moscow continued its biblical war against Crane. The strike comes just a day after the bear forces launched an overnight strike on Sumi Oblast, injuring 3. And that's where we are right now, guys. I'm going to share the rest over my Twitter page. A lot of stuff is going on, so Donald is furious. These two countries still going at it. At the same time, you got the Red Dragon out there near Alaska. And but nation against nation still building up. So I would keep it updated when it comes to these news. And Donald, he's running, he's very furious right now, and he's not pleased with Putin. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.